Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Prasita Shivshankar.
And I'm Harida.
We are going to be your hosts for the evening. The Muthoot Group's legacy is rooted in empowering individuals and transforming communities through quiet, meaningful action. Our work in education and healthcare has touched lives across generations, guided always by enduring values. Today, as we enter the realm of business education, we do so with a purpose and vision. The Global Corporate Business School is not just an institution, but a launchpad for future-ready minds, where ambition is grounded with ethics and innovation is shaped by intent, inspired by tradition, built for tomorrow.
A warm welcome to you all on this landmark occasion, the formal launch of Muthoot Business School, Kochi. This visionary initiative by the Muthoot Group aims to create industry-ready professionals equipped with both academic excellence and practical business acumen. Established under the Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, MBS is backed by decades of trust, values, and innovation that Muthoot name stands for.
Our aim is to nurture young minds into dynamic leaders grounded with ethics and driven by a purpose, a true reflection of the belief in leaders nurturing leaders. With the support of a strong legacy, a vibrant campus, and a focus of holistic development, Muthoot Business School aims to become a center of excellence in management education. We are glad to announce that Muthoot Business School received AICTE approval, and 27 bright minds have joined us as students. As we embark on the new chapter, let us begin this auspicious evening by invoking divine blessing.
We invite Aaron Thomas Philip, one among the wonderful students of our Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, to lead us in the prayer. May the spirit of knowledge, humility, and integrity guide us through this journey.
Check. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils and snares, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home.
Thank you, Aaron.
To share the vision behind Muthoot Business School, we now invite Professor Dr. Anand Agarwal, Director and Dean, Muthoot Academics of MBS, to deliver the welcome address. With an impressive 2 decades of experience spanning 5 countries, including Australia and United States of America, and having shaped minds at renowned institutions like IMT and Asian Institute of Management, Manila, Dr. Agarwal brings us a truly global perspective to our innovative institution.
Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Shashi Tharoor, respected Chairman of the Muthoot Group, Managing Director, Sir, Senior Leaders of the Group, Mr. George M. George, Mr. George Muthoot Jacob, Independent Directors, Dr. Nilkantan, Principal of MITS, representatives of various financial and trade organizations, Sir, your presence here not only graces this event, but also validates our vision for a new era in education. Your work has constantly challenged us to think differently and to aspire for excellence, and we are thrilled to have you launch this institution. A very warm welcome to you, sir. I would also like to extend a special welcome to our Honorable Chairman, Shri George Jacob Muthoot, who has joined us here today, a visionary leader and one of the most respected figures in India's financial service sector. A warm welcome to you, sir. Now I would like to welcome our Managing Director, Mr. George Alexander Muthoot. Under his dynamic leadership, Muthoot Finance has grown into the country's largest gold loan company, touching millions of lives across India. He has been instrumental in diversifying the Muthoot Group's educational institutions, which has set benchmarks across the country. A warm welcome to you, sir. We are also happy to welcome the fourth generations of the directors at the Muthoot Group to the event. Mr. George M. George, the Deputy Managing Director, Muthoot Group, who also heads our hospitality division, Zandari. A warm welcome to you, sir. Also, I would like to welcome Mr. George Muthoot Jacob, Deputy Managing Director, who is spearheading the group's marketing initiatives across South India and also leading the operations across the key markets of the company's offering. Welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Shri K.R. Bijumon, Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer at the Muthoot Group to this function. A warm welcome to you, sir. Let us welcome Mr. K.P. Padmakumar, former Chairman of Federal Bank, who is with us among the dignitaries today. Welcome to you, sir. I would also like to welcome Professor P.C. Nilakandan, Principal of MITS, and Professor Dr. David Tayleze, Dean of International Relations, Muthoot Business School, to this auspicious function. I would like to welcome all the representatives of various financial and trade organizations, other dignitaries, independent directors, GMs, division and departmental heads of the Muthoot Group, the media, educators, and aspirants of business education, and all the audience, my students and faculties, and everyone who has gathered here for the function. Also, a warm welcome to all our special invitees, partners, future faculty, our members of Board of Advisors, and the bright young minds who have gathered here for the launch. All your guidance and support have been the bedrock upon which this dream has been built. Friends, for decades, one question has echoed through industry and academia alike. How do we bridge the classroom and corporate world? We all talk about the gap between industry and academia. The question is, how do we shape leaders who are not just educated, but experienced from day one? Today, we are not just launching a new business school. We are launching an answer to that question. Muthoot Business School is our bold response to the needs of a fast-changing global economy. At the heart of MBS is a simple yet powerful idea: work integrated learning, WIL. We are moving away from the traditional models of education. Here, learning goes beyond textbook. Every MBS student has already begun a paid internship with senior managers and department heads of the Muthoot Group, even before their first semester. Alongside the classes, they will work 10 hours every week within our offices, applying what they learn in real time. We actually are ensuring that there is no industry-academia gap in our education. This model reflects the Muthoot Group's core belief: our people are our greatest strength. For over a century, we have nurtured talent from within. At MBS, our senior leaders will not just observe from afar. They will teach, they will mentor, and they will guide the next generation. We have also started management development programs and leadership programs for Muthoot Group companies, and we will extend these programs for non-Muthoot Group companies also very soon. Our goal is to build a global neo-tech business school that produces graduates who are skilled, experienced, and ready to contribute from day one. As we begin this journey, we thank you for being here. Your presence inspires us a lot. We will move forward with hope and commitment. Thank you and warm welcome to all of you once again.
Thank you, sir.
Let's now proceed to light the ceremonial lamp, a symbol of knowledge, clarity, and new beginnings. We invite our honored guests to join us on stage for lamp lighting. We are incredibly honored by the distinguished presence of Dr. Shashi Tharoor, the Honorable Member of Parliament, Thiruvananthapuram. We respectfully invite Dr. Tharoor to lead us in the lamp lighting ceremony. Following Dr. Tharoor, we request the esteemed presence of Sri George Jacob Muthoot, Chairman of Muthoot Group, Sri George Alexander Muthoot, Managing Director of Muthoot Group, Sri George Muthoot, Deputy Managing Director, Muthoot Group, Sri George Muthoot Jacob, Deputy Managing Director, Muthoot Group, Professor Dr. Anand Agarwal, Director and Dean Academics of Muthoot Business School, and Dr. Neelakandan PC, Principal of Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, to join him on stage to partake in this sacred ritual.
Thank you all. Now, we request Sri George Alexander Muthoot, Managing Director of the Muthoot Group, to deliver the presidential address. A true leader who continues to nurture other leaders, Sri George Alexander Muthoot is a visionary and one of the most respected figures in Indian financial service sector. Under his dynamic leadership, Muthoot Finance has grown into country's largest gold loan company, touching millions of lives. In a recent Bloomberg article, he was referred as the king of gold loan, a reflection of his leadership in this sector. He also oversees Group's 20-plus diversified businesses spanning education, healthcare, hospitality, and more.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to stand here at the official launch of Muthoot Business School. It's a neo-tech global corporate business school that redefines management education by integrating academic excellence with industry immersion, technological innovations, and ethical leadership. We are truly honored to have with us today Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Member of Parliament Trivandrum, a respected statesman, a scholar, and a global citizen who has made India proud across forums. It's truly a special moment for me and for the Muthoot family to have you at the launch here of Muthoot Business School. Of course, we also have our chairman, Sri George Jacob Muthoot, our deputy managing directors, George M. Jacob. We have very truly honored guests here who have all gathered here for the launch of this institution. We also have the Muthoot team from the Muthoot Business School, Dr. Anand Agarwal. He is the director. Dean Dr. David Teresilas from Georgia, faculty and the students of the school. Muthoot Group has undertaken various CSR initiatives all over India. We generally do it through our 6,000 plus branches in the length and breadth of the country. Education and healthcare are the focus sectors for our initiatives. The launch of Muthoot Business School is deeply rooted in the legacy of service and nation building. Over the last 6 decades, we have invested steadily in education, quietly but purposefully. We did this because we believed in the power to transform lives. Our father and the founding chairman, Sri M. George Muthoot, held a deep conviction that education is a cornerstone of any truly developed society. We started many education institutions. We started the St. George School, the Paul George School in Delhi, which are more than 50 years old. We started the Sanskara School in Info Park. We also started the Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, Varikoli, and now the latest Muthoot Business School at Puthankush. Today, we at the Muthoot Group, promoters, family, and employees are privileged to launch the Muthoot Business School. At present, it will function from the Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science building. Construction of its own building is in progress. It's already halfway, maybe a quarter way through. We should see the completion of the building also in the next 12 to 18 months. At present, the school shares the premises with the Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science. Talking about the MITS, although it started 12 years back, today it is one of the premier engineering colleges in Kerala. During the last KTU results, Kerala Technical University result, MITS stood second among the 150 plus Kerala engineering colleges. Both private and government engineering colleges. The team from MITS, Professor Dr. Deelakandan, Vice Principal Dr. Chiku Abraham, Dean Shaji Moon, and other faculties from here are with us. We are truly happy that they are also here, and with God's blessings and your support, all of your support, we hope that Muthoot Business School will also become one of the premier management institutions in the country. God willing, we hope to achieve that in the near future. So with all your blessings, I think we are happy today that we will be launching the Muthoot Business School here for the benefit of the people here, for the students, for the public. And I hope that with your cooperation, we will do better and better every day. At this point, I also would like to say something about the chief guest here. I read somewhere, he is same age as myself. We both born in 1956 and 55. So we share something. He graduated, of course, from Premier Institute in London in 1975. I graduated from a Kerala University in 1975 and went for his, he did his master's and his doctorate in his 20s, age of 20. Of course, after that, there is no comparison. Dr. Sarur is, he is so way ahead of us. I'm sure his blessings, his hand today in starting the school will help us and the faculty and the students here and the Muthoot group to make this a great institution. Thank you, sir, in advance.
Thank you, sir. Your vision and leadership continue to nurture and inspire generations across industries, institutions, and now through education.
Now, we invite you all to the official launch ceremony of the Muthoot Business School. We have prepared a short video. Let's watch the video.
For over 60 years, the Muthoot Group has been shaping futures through the power of education. Now, we take a bold leap into the future of business education. Introducing Muthoot Business School, a global, corporate-first neo-tech B-school where academics and industry go hand in hand. Here, students begin with a paid internship, gaining hands-on experience even before classes commence. Many receive placement offers before their first day on campus. From international exchange programs to future-ready specializations in AI, fintech and beyond, students are prepared for the world with the world. MBS also offers tailored programs for working professionals and industry leaders, helping them evolve into tomorrow's business visionaries. So whether students are just starting out or already paving their path, Muthoot Business School is the perfect launchpad for them to become business leaders. Muthoot Business School, leaders nurturing leaders.
Now comes the moment we have been waiting for, the formal launch ceremony of Muthoot Business School. We invite our chief guest, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, to join us on stage. Dr. Tharoor is a true architect of ideas, an acclaimed author, diplomat, and member of parliament, known for his eloquence, intellect, and deep understanding of global affairs.
A former Under-Secretary General of United Nations, Dr. Tharoor has represented India on global platform with distinction. Beyond his literary and diplomatic achievements, his leadership is marked by the ability to bridge cultures and generation. Whether steering policy debates, guiding think tanks, or using digital platforms to democratize discourse. With a deep commitment to public service, he continues to inspire dialogue on democracy, development, and diplomacy.
We also invite the presence of Sri George Jacob Muthoot, Chairman of Muthoot Group, Sri George Alexander Muthoot, Muthoot Management Director of Muthoot Group, Sri George Muthoot George, Deputy Managing Director of Muthoot Group, Sri George Muthoot Jacob, Deputy Managing Director of Muthoot Group, Sri K.R. Vijiman, ED and CEO, Muthoot Finance Limited, Professor Dr. Anand Agarwal, Director and Dean, Academics of Muthoot Business School, Professor Dr. David Turlax, Dean, International Relations, and Dr. Neelakandan PC, Principal of Muthoot Institute and Technology and Science. Join him on stage to partake in this sacred ritual.
That was wonderful. Leaders nurturing leaders. not merely a tagline, I think it really is a clarion call to action. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Jacob Muthoot, Mr. George Alexander Muthoot, the visionary chairman and managing director of the Muthoot Group, distinguished dignitaries, esteemed faculty, future business leaders, members of the media, and dear friends. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to be here with you today at the inauguration of the Muthoot Business School, an institution that promises not only to redefine management education in India, but to reimagine it for a world in flux. Mr. George Jacob Muthoot in particular is my constituent in Thiruvananthapuram and represents well the growing entrepreneurial spirit of our business-friendly capital city. But I understand Kochi is still the business capital of the state, and you have chosen a splendid location, as we could see in the video. In an era defined by technological acceleration, geopolitical shifts, climate imperatives, and social disruption, the traditional paradigms of management education often fall short. We need more than managers. We need innovators, integrators, and leaders with moral clarity, cross-cultural fluency, and entrepreneurial courage. Muthoot Business School, I hope, will do just that and more. So let me first commend the Muthoot Group for their foresight in launching this institution. The MBA was established for the very first time in the United States, and it evolved from the accounting and bookkeeping courses that had been introduced in the 19th century in a rapidly industrializing America. The Wharton Business School was founded in 1881 as the first undergraduate institution offering business education. Then in the early 20th century, the two-year postgraduate version began. In India, the Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management was established in 1953 and became the first Indian institution to offer management courses in our country. Then the Planning Commission received a recommendation from Dean Robbins of the University of California, which led to the first ever management school in India, IIM Calcutta, 1961, followed a little later by Ahmedabad, and very much later by the plethora of management schools that has come. So this year, 2025, is actually the 75th year, the Diamond Jubilee of business education in India. And it is appropriate that in this Diamond Jubilee year, with over a century of legacy in trusted financial services and social commitment, the Muthoot Group has taken this next step into business education. It feels not only natural, not only celebratory, but necessary. It is especially meaningful that MBS, as it's going to be called, is conceived not just as an educational and academic institution, but as a corporate, neo-tech, and global hub, where classrooms and boardrooms merge, where theory and practice coalesce, and where education is lived and not just learned. I'm particularly impressed by the work-integrated learning model. It's a bold departure from the passive learning environments that have long characterized our business schools in India. By embedding students within the Muthoot Group's operations, MBS will be cultivating experiential wisdom from day one, a trait that every future CEO, policymaker, or entrepreneur must possess. Likewise, the pre-PGDM paid internship, very unusual, good concept. The incubation cell, the focus on emerging domains such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, and the metaverse. All these initiatives affirm that yours is an institution prepared not just for the present, but for the future. But perhaps what excites me most is MBS's aspiration to be authentically global. In today's interconnected economy, leadership is no longer a local enterprise. It is global, dynamic, and inclusive. the cross-border collaborations, international faculty engagements, and student mobility. All these programs at MBS will serve as invaluable bridges to the larger world. Friends, in the grand theatre of modern civilization, the corporation has emerged not merely as an economic engine, but as a cultural and social force. No longer confined to the pursuit of profit alone, today's corporate entities are called upon to uphold a deeper covenant with society, with nature, and with the generations yet to come. The triple bottom line concept, invented by John Elkington in 1994, was in many ways the template that I hope MBS will impart to its students. It requires that businesses should no longer look at the literal bottom line of profit alone, but at 3 P's. People, I'm afraid it looks like I'm getting a bit allergic to this rose, my apologies. People, profit, and planet. People means the social impact of a business on its employees, of course, on its customers, of course, but also on the community at large. What can a business do for the betterment of society? Planet is the environmental impact of a business, including such issues as waste management, air and water pollution, and the sustainable use of natural resources. And profit is not just about greed, but about viability. A business has to be financially viable. It has to have an overall economic impact, but it must be generated through ethical business practices. So, it is important to accept that a business exists to make profit, but profit is not forgotten, it is repositioned as just one of these 3 pillars alongside people and planet as well. And I must say this concept goes back in many ways to Mahatma Gandhi, well before Elkington. Mahatma Gandhi once observed that commerce without morality is one of the 7 social sins. Modern business, it appears, has finally begun to take heed. In recent decades, we witnessed a transformation in corporate philosophy, an awakening to the realization that economic growth and ethical responsibility must walk hand in hand. Your stakeholders are not just your shareholders, they're society at large. The age of silent factories and smokestacks is yielding to an era of conscious capitalism. Companies now speak the language of sustainability, embedding environmental and social governance into their mission statements. Digital technologies have redefined the way business is done, streamlining operations, enhancing transparency, and connecting markets across continents. Yet, amidst this whirlwind of innovation, many have also begun to reflect on their human and ecological footprints. Today, a forward-looking enterprise is not judged by its balance sheet alone, but by the values it embodies. An inclusive workplace where diversity is honored and dignity is upheld is no longer an ideal, but an expectation in our society. Corporate social responsibility is no longer an afterthought, but a central narrative where business partners in building schools, funding hospitals, empowering women, restoring degraded landscapes. So I hope that all of this is infused into the business lessons at the Muthoot Business School. I'm not going to romanticize the corporate world entirely. In fact, there are other aspects we have to think about. The greatness of a nation, Mahatma Gandhi often talked about the way we treat our weakest animals, for example. Similarly, the great character of a modern business can be measured by how it treats the environment, the laborer in the supply chain, the voiceless consumer. Some companies lead with conscience, and that is Muthoot's reputation. Others continue to exploit loopholes, pollute rivers, fuel inequality in distant corners of the globe. So the most pressing question is not what business can do, it's what it ought to do. The late economist John Kenneth Galbraith, who used to be ambassador to India in the early 60s, he warned that more die in the pursuit of profit than die in wars. The challenge before us is to ensure that business is no longer an adversary of justice, but its ally, no longer a burden upon the earth, but a steward of its healing. In some modern corporate practices have the potential to either uplift society or deepen its wounds. The choice rests in the hands of leaders who must recognize that true success is not measured by stock value, but by shared value. For in a world where business touches every life, it must learn above all to do no harm, and wherever possible, to do good. Business at its best, of course, must not do any harm, not to any species, nor to the delicate web of life that sustains our planet. At the very least, it must strive to minimize its adverse impacts. Because after all, our enterprises demand not only capital and commerce and labor and people, though. They depend on people. And of course, they use the environment. They're part of the society in which businesses operate. Without them, how can a business endure or flourish? So let businesses learn to be kind to their fellow human beings, to nature, and to communities that make their success possible. Friends, we all know that India is on the cusp of a demographic dividend, with nearly 65% of our population under the age of 35. But dividend is not destiny. Thank you. It must be nurtured through education, empowered by opportunity, and transformed by institutions like the Muthoot Business School we inaugurate today. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said that character is destiny. I would argue that one of the lessons you can impart in a business school is that leadership is destiny. And the kind of leadership that your business school should aim to build is one that our nation and our world desperately needs. Ethical, empathetic, efficient, and entrepreneurial. 4 E's, that should be your slogan. To the inaugural batch of students who will walk through these gates, and I believe some of them are here, is that right? Are any of the students here? Well, you're not merely learners, you are torchbearers. You're not just being prepared for the market, you're being equipped to shape society. Make the most of this opportunity and give the faculty a hard time. Question, collaborate, create. Don't just be passive recipients of what they're going to teach you. So I want to wish for George Jacob Muthoot, George Alexander Muthoot, Dr. Anand Agarwal, whom I had the pleasure of meeting today, Dr. David Tereladze, and the entire founding team of MBS, all success in this ambitious and noble endeavor. May the business school, the Muthoot Business School, become a beacon, not just for business education in India, but for value-based leadership worldwide. I've already expressed my apologies to our keynote speaker who will follow me, your chairman, that I won't be able to stay because I have another function to rush to in your terrible Kochi traffic, so I'm already late. But I do want to wish you all, once again, the very best, to thank you for the privilege of inaugurating this business school and the privilege of addressing you, and may this be the beginning of a remarkable journey. Good luck, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking address and for honoring us with your presence.
We request the Board of Directors of Muthoot Finance to present the memento to Dr. Shashi Tharoor as a token of our appreciation.
Next, we welcome Sri George Jacob Muthoot, an idol leader who has upheld a legacy of trust, values, and visionary growth to deliver a keynote address.
Most respected guest of the day, Dr. Shashi Tharoor MP, a good friend of mine who is from Trivandrum. He said, I am also from Trivandrum. Managing Director George Alexander Muthoot, Deputy Managing Director George Muthoot Jacob, and George M. Jacob, Professor Anand Agarwal, Founding Director and Dean, Sri K.R. Bijimon, Executive Director and CEO of Muthoot Finance, Mr. Neelakandan, Principal of Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, Mr. Jikku, Vice Principal of MITS, Mr. K.P. Padmakumar, former Federal Bank Chairman and former Executive Director of Muthoot Finance, and his wife, distinguished guests, faculty members, students, and my dear friends. It is a moment of immense pride and purpose as we gather here to inaugurate Muthoot Business School, a significant milestone in our journey of excellence. I extend heartfelt gratitude to everyone who believed in this vision and helped bring in life. At Muthoot Group, institutions. While we celebrate their global ambition, it is time to shift the paradigm. We envision a future where Kerala itself becomes a global academic destination, where students from across India and around the world come here to Kochi, not just for its culture and beauty, but for its academic excellence and intellectual vitality. This institution aims to be at the forefront of this transformation, placing Kochi firmly on the global academic map. As a group, our mission is to build leading customer-centric business enabled by technology, maintaining the highest standard of corporate governance and uncompromised values. At Muthoot Business School, we bring the mission to life in higher education by placing students at the center of every academic decision and initiative. At Muthoot Business School, we bring this mission to life in higher education by placing students at the center of every academic decision and initiatives. The foundation of this institution rests on the values that have defined the Muthoot Group for over a decade or over a century now. Ethics, reliability, dependability, integrity, trustworthiness, and goodwill. These values will shape the character of our institution and of every graduate who passes through its halls. They are not aspirations, they are our identity. Our goal is not to replicate what already exists, but to redefine what is possible. Muthoot Business School will offer an internationally benchmark curriculum that blends academic rigor with practical insight. Collaborate with the leading academic and industry partners to provide global exposure and promote an inclusive, vibrant campus culture where diversity of thought and background is embraced. In keeping with our legacy, the institution will not exist in isolation, but it will enlarge actively with the world around it. We are committed to providing scholarship to talented students regardless of background, building outreach programs that mentor and uplift underserved communities, creating incubation platform to support students with bold ideas and social vision. This institution will be a force not only for academic success, but for social advancement and equity. Muthoot Business School is more than a campus, it is a catalyst for transformation. And this transformation requires collective will of our faculty, our students, our industry partners, and our community. Let us work together to make Kochi a globally admired center for business education, grounded in ethics and driven by purpose. The Muthoot Group historic occasion. As we inaugurate this institution, let us commit ourselves to a standard of excellence that goes beyond ranking. Let Muthoot Business School stand as a symbol of trust, transformation, and timeless value. The journey begins now. Thank you very much. Thank you once again for listening to me. And I take this opportunity, distinguished chief guest, who told me that he will stay here till the end of the meeting. So we wanted to, I said, till the end of the meeting, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for your empowering message and unwavering commitment to our institution.
Our chief guest of the day, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, is leaving. I would request everyone to remain for the function. A lot of felicitations and the end is to become up.
moving on, we now request Shri K.P. Padmakumar, former Chairman, Federal Bank, for a few words of felicitation. He was Chairman of Federal Bank Limited for 6 years, from 1999 to 2005, and was instrumental in transforming the bank as a tech-savvy, vibrant bank with commanding presence in Indian banking universe.
Good evening. Shashi Tharoor is not here, but still I'll hail him. The primary reason my wife is here is she wanted to renew the old acquaintance with him when they were spending their younger days in Calcutta. He somehow has placed her, and he said he has talked to his mother, whom we used to meet on and off when she was living in Cochin. That said, I can sense the birth of this institution as a historic event, and especially in the hands of a man whose most of his works I have read and most of his speeches I understanding of India is a rare breed. So as Dr. Alexander Muthoot said, I think it is a good beginning. I sort of usurped this role, if I may say so, because I was very keen on speaking on this occasion, primarily because I wanted to share the experience of giving birth to 2 engineering colleges. Reverting back to 2003, when I was chairman of the Federal Bank, the Supervising Staff Association met me and said there is a germination of an idea of starting an engineering college. I encouraged them, funded them. Only rider that I put was that because at that time there was a surfeit of engineering colleges all around. In Tamil Nadu, cattle sheds were getting converted as engineering colleges. There was a scramble for faculty, and in that environment, I said, let us pursue only excellence. Why I am narrating this is sometimes certain critical decisions that we take that shapes the future of institutions. At the time when the recruitment was happening, I distinctly remember the discussion. The first batch of entry into the college, we decided that the government-approved fees will be given to all students, including those coming under the management quota. That single step, which I am sure is being continued today, that shaped the fortunes of that college. Today, as MD was mentioning about the results, which I used to watch consistently, it's an improvement over every year that has been happening. At a time like this, I think it is worth mentioning that although we have built institutions, especially at a time when we are giving birth to a business school, it's a lamentable fact that we have not been able to build an institution of repute, either in the private sector or in the government sector. I remember when IIM Calcutta, where I used to go for frequent lectures, it was an also ran Institute of Management. When Devashish Chakravarti came, I think the fortune started changing. It is his current second assignment. So as I said, some decisions that we take with regard to the entry, getting the best talents, have faculty, best students without any commercial interest in the bargain, pursuing only excellence can make or mar the institution. In the case of MBS also, I am sure that we will be pursuing excellence, and Muthoot management, as I know it because I spent close to a decade and a half with the group, they are large enough to see to it that commercial interests do not overweigh any decision making as far as the group is concerned. And I am sure that in the days to come, this is a big beginning. As I mentioned, I can sense history being made here. A business school started as an adjunct to the engineering college, which has already established good reputation in the firmament of engineering colleges in Kerala. It's a great scope for synergy as far as the future growth is concerned. That said, I'm also sure that the director is here. Essential thing will be to see that what sort of dialogue we have with the industry. The theoretical underpinnings they receive primarily will be shaped for effective use if there is constant interaction with the industry. Unfortunately, we don't have that scope in Kerala. And when I used to have dialogue with the IIM Calicut people, they used to always lament the fact that one deficiency we see in the whole of engineering education, as far as Kerala is concerned, management education, is the lack of entrepreneurial culture here and the consequential, what you call as inertia towards starting anything new. As we go along, I know things will start shaping well. And as I mentioned, in 1870, we established the first college as far as the country is concerned in Kerala, CMS College, Kottayam. And today now you speak about that past only. Many said it was the first higher education college under the Western educational system established in the country. Along with that, the college in Calcutta was also established. But you look at the way the world has expanded. We have not been able to establish any institution of higher learning here. I am not referring to the management institutes, IIM, IIT, which has come up in Palghat. Still our students for undergraduate studies, they go to Chennai or Bangalore. Why should that happen? That is the lament that all of us are entertaining today when a new institution is taking birth. I'm sure the director and the faculty will give a great boost to this institution. I never thought already it has progressed so far. I was thinking this is the first stone being laid, but already great work has been done in terms of induction of students and giving them a shape of what is to be learned, etc. So it's a great beginning. I'm very happy that I could be a part of it. As I said, I observed this primarily to share with you the experience I had when the FISAT was established. And the one dictate I told them, when funding was required, the bank merely funded the college. Knowing full well that it's not a commercial enterprise, it's an educational institution. It was a path-breaking endeavor on our side. And later on, when the college started improving upon itself in terms of the quality of the faculty in terms of the results they were achieving, it became a hallmark. And the same got repeated in Muthoot also, Muthoot Institute of Science and Technology. That, to my mind, that I wanted to share this with you, especially when the director is here. Thank you very much for the patient listening, and I wish the director and his team all the best. May this become another IIM Calicut in course of time, because IIM Calicut has acquired tremendous prestige of late, especially candidates' preference for IIMs. And I think that in terms of the placement record also, it is one of the best that is going by the records that are available. So let that be the beacon that should guide you in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that inspiring messages.
It's now our privilege to invite a remarkable leader, a mentor, a visionary, and someone who turns ideas into action, Shri K.R. Bijmon, Executive Director and COO, Muthoot Finance Limited, for a few words of felicitation.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, the students, the friends, the group employees. Of course, it's a momentous occasion for the group. A group with 800 years of legacy is starting school. It has started many institutions, and most of them or some of them are in the #1 position. And here also, we are starting a Muthoot Business School. As Padma Kumar sir said, it will one day we can see IIM, the best of the IIM, like maybe I see a similarity in Harvard Business School and the name Muthoot Business School. So that's the way I will put it. Of course, the tagline also, the leaders nurturing leaders. It's also well-suited tagline. We are as a company, we are the leader in the NBFC segment. We are one of the largest corporates in India. Of course, we are the largest from with a 1 trillion market cap. I don't know anybody. That's that kind of a legacy, an 800 years legacy is starting an institution. And we have always been in the forefront of innovation. That's why when MD sir was speaking, he mentioned about he is born in the year 1955. In the same year, two world's biggest innovators are also born. One is our Apple CEO, Steve Jobs, 1955. And the other one, Bill Gates. Microsoft chairman Bill Gates is also born in the year 1955. I would say our innovation, what we did as a company, is no less than what Microsoft did or what Steve Jobs did. And Apple is definitely an innovation. But taking a small product from this Kerala to nationwide and to the world is no less a similar innovation. So we are truly an innovators, and we are leaders in that. Again, we are symbolizing progress. That's what the business school also. We are the most prosperous company from this part of the world. We are one among the 100 top companies in this country today. So that all those things that shows that Muthoot Group is the best one to start and nurture leaders for the future. That's the vision with which this is started. Of course, it has got some other things also. I think Anand Agarwal sir very well said it. It's a work integrated learning model. I think that also is something I think MD sir has been keeping his close to chest, because he always say CA, he's a CA rank holder. CA is a course something in which work is well integrated with the studies. For a CA course, you need to undergo a 3-year articleship. During that time, you have to literally work, and finally, you have to qualify if you want. You learn and qualify and come out. I think that's that a similar thing in education can make better students, or academia really the industry can be combined. I think that's the model what has really inspired the MD sir to start such a model. Of course, here the one other thing which is happening, it's groups venture into education is not new. Engineering college we have seen. There also a lot of, we have a division called SIDRI, the engineering college. Yes, the SIDRI division, where it is Center for Research, maybe development, in the entrepreneurship development. I think combining the entrepreneurship and the SIDRI kind of research, etc., into the business school will really benefit state of Kerala, the Kerala state as a state's development also. Definitely that neo-tech, of course, it will be one of its kind. Neo means new, neo-tech, and definitely it will be a tech-driven company, tech-driven business school, which is going to really take us to something similar to Harvard Business School. As again Shashi Tharoor said, the students should take advantage of that. It's a CSR initiative of Muthoot Group. Definitely the students should take advantage of such a learning or work integrated learning model, and definitely it's going to be a really a new venture, a neo tech business corporates business school. So thank you, and I wish all the best for the school. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You always inspire us with your thoughts and ideas. Let's now hear from one of our future leaders. We invite Ashwati Prabhu from Muthoot Business School to share her internship experience and reflections so far.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. Honorable Member of Parliament Dr. Shashi Tharoor in his absence, Chairman Sri George Jacob Muthoot, MD Sri George Alexander Muthoot, respected Board of Directors, senior dignitaries, faculty members, and esteemed guests. I'm Ashwati A. Prabhu, a student of the first batch of Muthoot Business School, currently interning at the Muthoot Group's head office. It's a true honor to stand here today and to share a glimpse of what has already been a meaningful journey. What makes this experience truly special is the opportunity we've had to begin our internships even before our classes start. From almost the very first day, we've stepped into the professional world, gaining exposure that many students receive only much later in their programs. So what has happened is, from almost the very first day, we've stepped into a professional world, and we are interning across diverse departments such as marketing, HR, corporate communication, CSR, analytics, and even the office of ED and COO, with placements in both Kochi and Bengaluru. Each day brings a new opportunity to learn, whether it's crafting marketing campaigns, analyzing business data, or observing leadership in action. One experience that left a lasting impression on me happened quite early on. I was a part of a small team discussion around an initiative that was being planned. Something that looked like a simple rollout and would be done in a few short meetings. But as I sat in that room and listened, I was awestruck. The number of moving parts, the legal checks, the budget planning, and the cross-department coordination, the backup plans. It made me realize how much behind-the-scenes effort goes into making even the smallest decisions. That moment really changed how I look into things. I started noticing not just the final outcome, but the teamwork, planning, and the thought that goes into everything. What stood out even more was how the team managed everything. With such a positive attitude, even under pressure, they enjoyed what they were doing. The energy made the whole environment feel motivating and supportive. And that's the beauty of hands-on exposure. It's already reshaping how I think. It's teaching me that while classroom learning lays the foundation, it's the real-world exposure that brings breadth into these theories. Now, when I step into lectures, I know I'll carry with me a context of clarity and to make learnings more relevant. It has become clear to me that experiential learning isn't optional, it's essential. And over the past few weeks, that has been proven true time and again. For me, this internship isn't just another step. It feels like a beginning of a true transformation. I can see myself evolving into a more thoughtful, responsible, and capable individual, ready to take the business world with confidence. Being a part of the founding batch, I feel truly grateful to be a part of the journey that's not just about building careers, but about helping us grow as individuals and eventually as responsible leaders. To my fellow students, let's make the most of this gift we've been given. Let's ask questions, take risks, support one another in this journey of growth. Once again, thank you to the Muthoot Group and Muthoot Business School for this powerful head start.
Thank you, Ashwati, for that heartfelt and insightful reflection. You truly represent the spirit of Muthoot Business School.
To conclude this momentous evening, we now invite Dr. Neelakandan PC, Principal of Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the audience, which includes our chairman, our managing director, our deputy managing directors, our COO, distinguished invitees, members of the press, members and employees of the Muthoot Group here, students, faculty members. It's my honor and privilege to stand here before you to deliver the vote of thanks, probably one of the toughest jobs as part of every function. We have been listening to leaders, we have been listening to invitees, we listened to the chief guest. The lamp has been lit, the plaque has been unveiled, the vision has been laid. Well begun, they say, is half done. And it goes well with the legacy of the Muthoot Group, which has built institutes of repute all over the nation. When I say institutes of repute, as Mr. Padmakumar, he was rightly remembering his own association with two great institutes in this own region. So these institutions have not grown beyond the boundaries to be known all over the nation. Neotech Global Corporate is what we have branded it, and the tagline says it all. We need to have leaders nurturing leaders. And I was watching Ashwati on stage. The likes of Ashwati are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, the managers of future, the managers who can transcend all boundaries. And Dr. Shashi Tharoor reminded us in many ways how a new business school or a neotech business school should look like or should be conceived. Need to have innovators, integrators who go beyond the traditional, think beyond the ordinary. He reminded us of IIM Calcutta that started in 61, and this is the 75th year of business education. And what more an opportune moment can we ask for when we are launching Muthoot Business School here in 2025, and that too in the business capital of Kerala, Kochi. The work integrated learning model, the experiential learning model are for all of us to discuss, take it forward, and ensure that it's put into practice. Now let me get into my duty. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from all of us here at the Muthoot Group, to all the distinguished invitees, including Dr. Shashi Tharoor, our chief guest. Let's give him a loud round of applause in his absence. Who better can we ask for when we sat around to discuss the best possible people to launch the business school? We had very little choice to think beyond people like Dr. Tharoor. As Mr. Padmakumar was mentioning, the kind of involvement as a global citizen and the kind of standards he sets for himself is for all of us to admire. So thank you, sir, again, once again for joining us today. Thank you all distinguished invitees who took the time out, accepted our invitation, and became part of history, I should say, because this is something which we have been conceiving in boardrooms for the past several months, in several meetings, identifying faculty, identifying the right kind of people to lead us. And we have with us some of the best people who have joined us faculty, including our director as well as Dean of International Affairs. Let's give them a loud round of applause to take this forward. Take this institution forward and place it where it rightly belongs. Let me again recall what Dr. Shashi Tharoor mentioned. Business to be an ally of justice, business needing to be kind, leadership to be having destiny in it, and also need to be ethical, empathetic, and entrepreneurial. We at Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science will be along with you in your journey, will be there to support you, will be there to be in your thick and thin. And as this is being conceived as a neo-tech global business school, we definitely are going to be part of Muthoot Business School to ensure that Muthoot Business School earns its place in the sun. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for accepting our invitation. Let us carry fond memories of this grand function and take the vision of its founders, including our chairman as well as the managing director, to build institutions of eminence. Thank you.
With that, we conclude today's historic launch of Muthoot Business School, Kochi.
We thank each one of you for your presence, support, belief, and this journey of shaping leaders for tomorrow. We request all of you to kindly rise for the national anthem.
Jana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh